Hello.
Hey, Doc, how you doing?
Good. How are you doing? I think congratulations are in order, right?
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
You don't have to name. You have to say boy or girl.
Boy.
Oh, right. How many days old now? 2 or 3?
3, I think. He was born on the 16th.
Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
My son is 28 and my daughter's 26. I'm sorry. He's 27 and she's 26. And I have to tell you, there's nothing better. Do they change your life? Yes. Are they inconvenient at times? Yes. Are they expensive? Yes. Are they worth it? Absolutely. There's nothing I think more fulfilling in life than raising your kids and seeing them thrive, and it's a great experience all along the way. So congratulations. Really. How's your wife doing? Or how's your girlfriend doing?
She's good, man.
Good.
She did a good job. She grew a handsome boy. So
All right.
She's a champ. She has to get up every 3 hours. And
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
we're lucky that we're men. It seems like it sucks.
We definitely got we drew the better straw there. I don't know if I could do that.
Yeah.
So share with us, I know I've been seeing you for many years. How old were you when I first saw you?
Probably, I don't know. What do you think? 14?
Yeah, about that. So now you're in late 20s now. So can you share with us about what happened at the beginning when I first saw you and walk us through the years?
Yeah, both my parents, I believe, went to see you as well. My dad has ADHD, so do I, and then my mom has anxiety things that she deals with,
Mm-hmm.
and then going through life, elementary school, middle school, whatever, I was taking stimulants growing up, or we started talking because I think my parents were like, hey, you know what, Austin probably has ADHD, and then it turns out that and we started going through that, and went on to high school, and then college, and then you're absolutely right, so I am in my late 20s, I'm 29, and then things with having a baby, jobs changes, you're saving money, you have bills piling up, and there's different things. I think that also being a man, you don't realize, like, maybe some of these things my mom was going through, that I might have some of those things and I just didn't realize it.
How did you respond to a stimulant at that point, and then throughout the years? How have you done with that?
Stimulants, I always responded pretty well to them. I never really had too many issues with the stimulants, but I think what it was is, as you get older, then you start to also, you're drinking coffee, you're doing other things, and then you're maybe not sleeping as much, and then, I don't know, I think that your schedule kind of changes and your lifestyle changes as well. You might not have as much time for yourself to do all the things that you probably could to be as healthy as possible, get like 9-10 hours of sleep and eat it as good as possible or whatever. So I think that over time you start to realize, hey, you know what, maybe taking stimulants is not the easiest path forward. Let me talk to my doctor, because we do have this good relationship, and see what else is on the table. And that's what I think we did recently.
Yeah, so and then what do you recall the first thing you tried, like, for anxiety? What was that?
I think the first thing that we tried for anxiety was stuff that my mom would take was Pristiq, right? Yeah. So we started taking the Pristiq, and I think that was going pretty well, but it's not necessarily a stimulant. So I think we added the other one, and the words are long. It's
Wellbutrin?
Yeah. So Wellbutrin, so it's not so much of a downer as it, or whatever. I just trust your judgment. I forget how they all go together.
And on the Pristiq Wellbutrin, does that help your focus?
Yeah. I think that it definitely was something that I didn't even know was an option, because you have ADHD or coexisting things that are going on, and when you're talking to your friends or even just other people, you think, hey man, I have ADHD. I probably have to take Adderall or a stimulant or Vyvanse or whatever. You don't even know that these other avenues are out there, which I think is the benefit to me of having this relationship with you as my doctor for the last half of my life, 15 years or whatever. So I could call you and just be like, hey, I think I am experiencing anxiety, and this is what's going on in my life. And then you were like, hey, all right, let's explore these other things. And then we just started tweaking it.
Yeah, because what's happening, and I'll explain to the audience when I am done with talking to you about on the board, my whiteboard here. But basically, with the Pristiq Wellbutrin, we're actually balancing the same chemicals that the stimulants do without the stimulant. So it actually, it gets the chemicals moving in the right direction, but it's not as harsh. It doesn't have the harshness of a stimulant. It's hard to beat the effectiveness of stimulants, but sometimes it's too much. And then sometimes some people will say, if I just do a decent amount of caffeine, that actually really helps me, and with the non-stimulants. And some people say I sleep better and I feel better. And so that's why with combining those two, I call the dynamic duo of medications. It works on really balancing the three key chemicals at the same time. And I think you've been on those for a while. I think things have been pretty stable. More recently, I think I had a sense that you were having some residual anxiety. Before I added, I thought about Topamax, but can you share what your experience with the Topamax has been?
Good. So, yeah, I take the Wellbutrin and the Pristiq in the morning, and then I take the Topamax at night. It's gone very well as far as reducing the residual anxiety, like what you're talking about. I think some of these things are situational in your life, certain points, and then some of them are also maybe you don't realize, hey, this is anxiety until you actually take a step back and you start to think about it and go, oh, hey, this is actually how someone else would probably label it if they had the vocabulary, and maybe you just never realized it.
Yeah, and I think with we men also sometimes don't really understand it because we just think, hey, it's just part of being driven and is just that's in succeeding and trying to make money and all that stuff that we try to do. And sometimes we don't realize it. And I think you had shared with me that until you took the Topamax, you didn't realize like how much anxiety you had built up in your system because it just takes that edge away.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I think you nailed it, where you are focusing on succeeding and you work 12, 14, or at least for me, 12, 14 hours a day, just trying to hit it. And you're in your 20s, you're trying to set yourself up to do well and your family to do well and passing all these different milestones. And I think that you hit a point where there's some burnout where you need to take a step back and reassess. And it's important to have a good relationship with your mental health provider where you can just be honest and then get some help. I think that's where I was so fortunate, where I do have that relationship with you, and I was able to just be like, hey, man, I think I'm at the breaking point where it wasn't like I wasn't successful, but it was just where I was at a point where I was just, it had been so full throttle for so long that something definitely needed to change.
Yeah, and taking these, by the way, I know you know this, it's not a sign of weakness. People think, oh, 3 things, oh my gosh. You know, all these are doing are balancing your chemistry. That's it. So if your chemicals were not out of balance, they would not be helping you at all. They wouldn't do anything for you. So that's all we're doing is we're basically beating your genetics because you got these things genetically from mom and dad, but you're facing up to it and realizing that, hey, the good thing about these things that they're treatable. And a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people watching this don't even realize that there is hope available and don't realize that how easy it is to treat these things. At least it's easy for me because I've been doing it for so long, but when I see this, like the results with you, I love this job because I love the results and I love what I see. And with you, again, you deserve it. You work hard. Now you got a family to support, but you're gonna continue to do very well. And that these are not interfering with your drive. That's why if there's a problem with your drive, then there's something not quite right with the dosing. But yeah, but this is just you now getting used to this feeling of normality, which is really meant to be, were it not the genetics that cause this.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a lot easier to get through all these different changes and things that have been going on, and it's been a big relief and a major benefit to my personal and professional life. It make it feel like everything's hitting all at once.
Yeah.
It makes me able to compartmentalize and just do one thing at a time is a great help.
Yep. Excellent. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, Dr. Cron. Anything I can to help you out, I'm more than happy to.
Okay, and say hi to your parents for me too.
Okay, I will.
Will do. You take care. Thank you.
Okay, I'll catch you later. Bye.
So with his case, again, I've known him for many years, like I said. So I have him on Pristiq for quite a while. He'd been on ADD medication since he was a kid. He'd been diagnosed many years ago. He'd been on Adderall, he'd been on Vyvanse, he'd been on different things, but after time, it got a little bit too harsh for him. He just said, it made me a little bit jittery and it made me a little anxious. And so that's a signal, either the dose is too high, we need to back it down. He's been on Pristiq for a while, my favorite. It's probably my number one medication I prescribe in my practice for many years. SNRI, so serotonin, norepinephrine, blocks the reuptake, boom, and boom. Huge, right? That right there, big. But again, with him, since we were going to try stopping the stimulant, Wellbutrin is a really good thing to do, working on dopamine. With ADD, norepinephrine and dopamine are the two key chemicals that involved. So with Wellbutrin working on dopamine, going this way. See, there's two ways of going about ADD. There's the stimulants, which quickly get things moving. And then there's the non-stimulants that actually don't do that, and they don't stimulate, but they force the chemicals to go the right way. But it's a slower pace, but sometimes that's all the person needs. Like I said, with him, he says he has some caffeine off and on during the day, not large amounts, but enough to a little boost of energy and a little boost of focus. And some people have to drink tons of caffeine, and then when I put them on the ADD medication, they have to slow the caffeine way down. But in his case, he actually feels really good off of the stimulant on just the Pristiq and then Wellbutrin. I sensed with him like a visit or so ago that he still had some residual anxiety. And so it's the fact that he already did. I already had tried increasing the Pristiq dose, and that didn't help it. So I put him on Topamax, another one of my very favorite medications, and that works on GABA. What else works on GABA temporarily? Xanax, Ativan, Klonopin, Valium, which are potentially addictive. I do prescribe them for certain people for panic attacks. It's better to use those on an as-needed basis and not get too used to them. It's much better to go on something preventative that actually fixes the problem. And with him, the anxiety pretty much is gone, and he feels great. And so that combination I call the Pristiq, Wellbutrin, the dynamic duo. I call this the dynamic trio because with those three, it gets all four of those key neurochemicals balanced. So another really good result with him.